she started having all these neurological problems. And then she finally realized she had the mercury taken out of her teeth. And then she began to do a cleanse. And she began to restore herself back to health. So toxins can destroy the body.
Well, that's the part. Maybe I've been speaking, but I never even had a catheterization. And they said there's bad cells in the heart.
Bad cells in the heart. This is the principle. This is the principle. Understand the principle of cleansing and detoxification. If you cleanse the body properly, cleansing will take place on a cellular level. So when you cleanse the body properly, the cells will be cleansed. And your cells are located where? All over your body. All over your body. My niece right now is recovering from a surgery. She was up in, she lives up in Washington State, and she was snowboarding. And she slipped, and that snowboard hit in the back of her leg. It really wasn't a hard blow, but she lay there for a while and was in so much pain. She was rushed to the hospital, and come to find out she fractured her femur. And as they x-rayed her, and then they found out that she had a tumor in her bone. What your cells are is what you are. It doesn't mean just your colon. It doesn't just mean your heart and your. It can be your bones too. When your bones are not getting the right nourishment and the right cleansing, they can get diseased as well. Does that make sense? You understand that principle? They can get diseased as well. Let's move on for the sake of time. All right, fast forward that. Let's go down to. All right, let's stop right here. Then we'll go to slide 22. Here are 3 steps. 3 steps that you need to know as far as cleansing and detoxification. You want to first cleanse and do what? Why do you want it? Let's say, for instance, you decided that you want to eat healthy now. And all of a sudden you just stop eating a lot of the health-destroying foods, then make that shift to eating health-promoting foods. Is that a good thing? Is that a good thing to do? Yes. All right. Is it the best thing to do? It's more to it. Let me tell you this. This is very close to me. I know a lot of people who used to drink, smoke, eat everything if they can put a scope on it and shoot it, they would eat it. And then all of a sudden they decide they're going to be healthy. And they make a 190-degree turn in their lifestyle. And later down the road, they still come up with some type of disease, prostate cancer or something. And I scratched my head for the longest trying to figure out what the problem was. And the Lord spoke to me. And guess what he told me?
They didn't cleanse.
They didn't cleanse. If the foundation be destroyed, what shall what? Righteous do. When Jerusalem was destroyed by Nebuchadnezzar, and then they made that exodus back to Jerusalem, there was 2 to 3 million Jews there, only 49,700 and something decided to go back. The first thing they did when they went there was they laid the foundation. You got me? And they built an altar. Now the foundation that we know is our cells, right? And the foundation of our cells, they need to be cleansed and detoxified. So if you do not cleanse the cells, the cells are not in a position to hold what you give. Does that make sense? It's like a cup that already has something in it. And as you try to pour, it's already something there. So when you begin to make lifestyle changes, the first thing you need to do is do what? Cleanse. And now the house is clean, and now you can start adding what? Nourishment. And start rebuilding on a cellular level. That makes sense? All right. And then once you do that, third step is restoring and maintaining. So what's the first step? Cleansing and detoxification. What's the second step? All right. What's the third step? All right. Let's go to slide 28. Now, we talked about herbs as cleansing, correct? Now, what I've done, I've researched and I've looked into what is the top herbs for cleansing. Now, when I work with my clients and I'm helping them to restore health, this is what I do. There are a lot of different things that you can use. There's a lot of different things you can use if you have high blood pressure, diabetes, cancers, and even when you want to cleanse. What I do, I look and see what's the best and use that in my arsenal to do an effective cleansing program. Don't you want the best? You know, there's certain clothes, you can buy cheap clothes. How long will cheap clothes last? But when you get good quality clothes, does it last? And the same with herbs. There are some herbs that are more potent in that area. There may be one that can do the same thing, but there may be one that is the most potent in that area. So we're going to look at the top 10 herbs for cleansing and detoxifying. Is that all right? All right. Herb number 1. Cascara sagrada. Cascara sagrada. Now, before I move on, let me mention this point that I failed to mention. Remember we mentioned all the various areas where you can cleanse at? We talked about the liver, we talked about the blood, we talked about the lymphatic system, we talked about the skin, did we not? Now, what happens is, if your colon is not cleansed first, and you begin to address all those other things, all right, this is what I felt. Let's back up to our previous slide. Man, go backwards. Jump ahead. All right, Cascara sagrada. Now, let's understand something here. You gotta have some basic information when you're cleansing. There are some people that are trying to cleanse various parts of the body. They may have a liver problem, or they may have something wrong with their respiratory system, or they may have something wrong with their lymphatic system, and then they go to the health food store and try to get some herbs to cleanse that specific area. Does that make sense? And they go to the herbalist and they say, I got this problem with my liver. Then the person at the health food store said, this is what you need to take for your liver. This will cleanse and detoxify your liver. Yes, it will. But if the colon is not cleansed, it's going to recycle the waste to all other parts of the body. So before you can cleanse the rest of the system, the first place that needs to be cleansed is the what? Is the colon. All right? Now, the top 10 herbs for cleansing the colon, this one is Cascara sagrada. What is so important about Cascara sagrada? Cascara sagrada is a digestive stimulator. It stimulates the colon. It stimulates what we call peristalsis activity. The wave-like motion. That wave-like motion. And when you begin, listen, most people eat very low fiber. They eat very low fiber, and what happens is the fiber is what helps keep things moving. When you eat low fiber foods, it actually destroys the body's ability to have that peristalsis. That makes sense? So a lot of people that eat foods with low fiber have decreased peristalsis, therefore they have decreased bowel elimination, therefore they have a traffic jam. If you understand what I mean. Alright, we're going to get personal as we build up. I'm laying a foundation. We're going to keep it real. Alright, so this produces stimulation, peristalsis. Next one. Here's another one. Barberry does the same thing. It stimulates the smooth muscles of the intestines for that peristalsis activity. Alright, next one.